All right. Yay. I'm here with my amazing client and friend, Valerie. And would you mind introducing yourself a little bit? Tell us about who you are
Sure.
and your business and your work in the world.
Yeah, I'd love to. Yeah. So I'm Valerie. I am an energy worker, an intuitive healer, and I work one-on-one, mostly with clients, but also in a group as well. And the main thing I'm really here to do is help other healers and sensitive leaders and just folks who are ready for this new paradigm of leadership that's based from the inside out to help anchor into their authenticity and their power. Yeah, and bring that to the forefront as the modus operandi. Yeah. And so is there anything else you want me to share about my business? Because I could go long or short.
That's fantastic. And you have a Facebook group people can
do.
join to get to know, like, and trust you.
Yep. Sacred Wild Leadership. Come hang out in there. It's super fun. Yeah.
And what made you decide to join the Rebelle Mastermind? What made you be like, okay, that's what I need. Let's go. Let's do this. Almost 6 months ago.
Yes. Okay. So I knew like last year, probably, that I wanted to start working with you. And I kind of dipped my toes into working with you with some Voxer only stuff. And then I was trying to decide at the end of that, like, where do I go from here? Now, what do I do next?
Totally.
I didn't want to have no support. I didn't want to go from having it to having no support. I was thinking about what is next. And I made a little bit of a switch that felt really good to me from, I kind of feel like when I was in the Voxer container with you that I sort of like almost needed somebody to just like witness me very vulnerably and be like, and just keep telling me like, and you're still doing great and you can still do it. And like, there was nothing that I could tell you that would be like, oh, you did that? Or like,
oh, you've just screwed it up. You're just done.
Oh, you're thinking that? Never mind. Like, like canceled. Like, no, you shouldn't be doing this. Like any of my, own like things that I was using maybe to invalidate myself. I was like, okay, none of this is working on her. Like, she's not buying into my bullshit propaganda, a campaign against myself. And so once I reached that point, I actually feel like I was making this turning point into, I wanted to be in a space where I could practice being more of my own authority and like having support in a way of like, oh, how can I actually receive the support more that you'd been giving me? Because up until that point, it was like, I was feeling it, but not like fully like letting it in, not like fully receiving it. Yeah. And once I kind of broke through that threshold, I was like, wait a second, like, I don't really want somebody to tell me what to do. I don't really want like a point by point. I didn't want to take another 101 course or like, here's how to do business. Like I'd done plenty of that. I was more like, I would like to be cheered on by somebody who I just respect so much. I just respect you so much. And I like love what you're doing. And I knew that all the people who you would have in your sphere would be really amazing people too. So I was like, this is just going to be fun because I'm going to meet new people and get to like hang out with them and celebrate them and then be on the receiving end of that at the same time. And so for me, that was it. I was like, that's how I made the choice. I was like, I knew I wanted more support. I knew what I didn't want. I knew what I didn't want another, just like, here's how to do it thing. I didn't want to play by play how to do it thing.
Totally.
And I felt like community would be awesome. And I took a while to make this decision too. Like you and I had a lot of conversations. It wasn't an easy thing for me. I was trying to decide, especially like financially, like, okay, do I keep investing in my business? Do I take a break from it? So it took me a while to actually pull the trigger.
And then you did.
And then I did it. Yeah. And I'm really, really happy I did. Yeah.
I'm happy you did too. Tell me a bit about your journey over the last almost 6 months now
Yeah.
the good things, the hard things, the transformation you've taken the action on and done in your business.
Yeah. I will say that I think it's shifted from what I originally was thinking. I think I came in with more like concrete goals that I wanted to accomplish.
Mhm.
And at the same time, so I was like, I'm going to get really consistent with like writing my content and like have my content block time and do all these
Yeah.
different things. And then I also like just set an intention during our opening ceremony as well for having like starting to have like 5K sales months by the end. Which spoiler alert, I totally just did. I was like by my birthday, which is September 16th, and that's totally happening, which is super fun.
That's so cool.
Just so cool. And I love that I have not gotten the content block thing down exactly. I've played with it, I've experimented with it, I found what I like and what I didn't like. I have, and what I've done, I think the biggest thing I think I've done is what I was mentioning before, which is really just, I was practicing showing up for myself in a celebratory way, like more than I ever had consistently. Honestly, like that's the most consistent thing that I've done, like through all the other things that I haven't held consistently, like, because I still have done a lot of things consistently, but that has been like the backbone of it, has been like, oh, can I show up and just practice other people witnessing me and in that celebratory way, and it not feeling like taking up way too much space or space hogging or whatever. And showing up to the mastermind calls. Like I've missed like one, but I try to just like get up there and like sit in the
Barely.
front row and like be that annoying person who's just like, I'll go first or whatever.
Yeah,
And just
that's
do
me.
it, you know?
All day, every day. I have questions. I don't know what they are yet, but I got
Yeah.
questions.
Yeah. Just practicing taking up space in that way.
Yeah.
Has been huge for me. And I am amazed by how much that can do. Like that was my
So
intention,
much.
is like, how can I just like let everybody lavish me with, you know, praise and celebrations and enjoy this process of because that's the main thing for me, is like I have to be able to enjoy what I'm doing, or else what's the point?
Yeah, we could
And
get a desk job if we're not going
right,
to like
right.
it.
Exactly. I could do whatever.
Mhm.
So yeah, so for me, really enjoying what I'm doing, that has been the backbone of it, is just that celebration piece. And I have been able to dial that in to the point that when I felt like something is off in my business, like that's the first thing that I go to. And that's really awesome to know, because I no longer have to like constantly spin my mental wheels. I can just go right to that and be like, listen, let me just go right there. And
So great. And so much
it's
so
so
that
great.
you ran an epic challenge for your own Facebook group around celebrating.
I did. Yep. I ran a celebration fest, and yeah, signed up a couple of Voxer clients from that too, just to
So
practice being in
cool.
that energy. And it's really amazing. Yeah.
Ah, it's awesome. It's been fun to watch you go and to shift it along the way, right? Of like, here's what I think I want. No, wait, I want something else. And being able to pivot and say, okay, I guess I'll make a package that looks like this, or craft
Yeah.
something that looks like that. And okay, oh, I'm charging my highest rate ever. Here we go.
Yeah. 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 It has really been helpful for me to have like I don't know. I feel like energetically, it's like, it's not like a lounge, but it sort of feels like like a healer's lounge where you could just drop in and be
Mhm.
like, it can be like 2 a.m.
Oh my God, I love
and I can
that.
go in there and, you know, and just
Say
say what needs to
something.
be said and know that it can be received at any point. Like, I think that's something that is
Yeah.
really important, having a place to put the things. Like it's amazing to me how much just expressing something and having it be witnessed is just most of what I need. Like, and I think that's
Totally.
can be undervalued sometimes in business. Like I think that there's a lot of amazing strategies, but like a lot of them are also like semi-intuitive, because like you and I have talked about like relationship building, like a lot of them are just like what you would.
You don't need the structure for the most, like at a certain point of business. You don't need more strategy. It's the mindset and the action and creating more pleasure, more ease, more time freedom.
Yeah.
As you're scaling your business.
Right.
That's the magic.
Yes. I mean, I could probably always use maybe a little bit more
strategy. I mean, it's working. Like you're doing
I don't
it.
know.
It's working.
My hope is just to make enough money doing it this way that I can just hire somebody real soon to add the structure in for me.
And that's a great next goal, right? Like, yeah. What would you say to someone who's listening, watching, and considering, oh, is now the right time to join the mastermind? I don't know. I would
recommend honestly for them to talk to you, because I think that if they're having that question in their mind, I think you're a really great person to talk to help hold that energy of their highest good. And so like, I really appreciate that about you, is like in the past, I've had experiences where I have not wanted to engage with the person who's selling the thing when I'm trying to decide. Because they don't have any sense of discernment around it. They're just like the bot who's trying to sell it. So even if outside of that container, I could connect with them and it would be great, when it comes to like them selling their thing, that it's like, so it's like it's not even scripted. It's just like so robotic almost, that it doesn't feel like I'm a human interacting with another human being who's like having a conversation. It sort of just does feel like the pre-programmed bot who's just like has the one answer or something no matter what. And I don't feel that way around you. And so I really haven't enjoyed that, because of that, there's space in the conversations I've had for you to like, there's space for my own. You're not going to tell me what to do. Basically, that's it. That's why I love you so much.
I love you so much.
Because I'm like, I do want support. I do want somebody who has had more experience. I do want suggestions. And I don't want somebody to tell me what to do, because I'll instantly rebel against that, So
right. Yeah. It's gotta be
you
your
being
own
like,
choice.
you being like, hey, here's my suggestion, or here's like, I can see,
There's
you're coming to me
ways.
and asking me, so here's what I see for your situation. Here's what I would suggest. But then knowing that you're always going to leave the door open in the future, no matter what somebody else decides, that feels great. Because then it's not like, oh, I'm going to follow if Emily's graces if I don't sign up for this program and have to feel embarrassed. It's like,
they don't like you anymore.
Maybe something else will roll along. Just that trust. So I would say like, talk to Emily, like talk to her, because she's a real amazing human being. And she'll have a real conversation with you and help you to make that decision. And then just take a couple of minutes to sit with it and like really feel into, I mean, I'm an energy worker. So for me, it really was based around the energy, like is this the energy I would like to sit in for the next 6 months, and I mean, that was an easy yes for me. And I think part of it for me too was finding that piece of like, how do I play with my edges financially while also not feeling like I don't know what the right word is, but like short circuiting myself too.
Yep. Overextending.
Because that's a real piece. Like we can all feel like a surge of excitement when we sign up for a new thing. But there needs to be like enough of a thread underneath to hold that, to sustain. So I think it can feel edgy. It can feel like, oh, how do I do it? That's when talking to you, I think, is helpful. When you're like, I really want to, or like, I want to, I'm drawn to this, but I'm not sure how, or whatever. Like, talk it out, hash it out, have conversations with everybody, your partner, your friends, whatever, I think just talking about it, processing it in as many ways as you can, but like holding to that note of like, if you really feel called, trusting that there's going to be a way, that it can work out.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you want to share?
I will vouch for, I hadn't been, I hadn't been in the mastermind before, but I will vouch for this being a really special community of people, like genuine to an exquisite degree. Like, I really love the people who are called to you and your work. And I think that is knowing that you're going to have that kind of a community of people who are like, who, yes, they do want to be abundant in their business, and they want to do it in integrity, and they are willing to really take the steps, for what that looks like for them. It's been amazing to be in the mastermind. Like, it's been awesome to have that kind of support, not only from you, but also from everybody else in there. And I didn't know that I necessarily wanted that at first. So that's been an amazing thing to have. I really recommend it. Like, if somebody hasn't done something like this before, if you've only ever, I'm talking to you now out there, whoever you are, who's thinking about joining, if you've only ever done like group programs, but you haven't had a space that's a little bit freer, where there is structure, you can have access to a ton of Emily's resources and programs, and there's this openness around stepping into your own authority and being witnessed. Like, I just really highly recommend it. I don't think that there's nothing else to really compare it to, Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Thank you for that.
Happy to.
Yay. Appreciate you and your time and energy. Thank you so much.
Thank you.